Chat, are you able to see my screen? Write some quick yes or no, please. I hope so you can see my screen. Now, there is some storage needed to show the output, like we are storing it for more than long amount of time. Like when we run our program, then we get our output. When we run our program, then we gonna go that we gonna see our output. Okay, chat. Now, but I want to store this output. Like suppose I am giving a name to a variable, and whenever I want to see this thing, I want to see, like every time I don't want to run, every time I don't want to do this, like every time for seeing or doing that task, I don't want to run that function. Okay, like every time when you close the VS Code, the output gets vanished, everything gets closed. That means it's like temporary kind of memory is getting there, temporary kind of thing. Like you cannot see later by opening that same output. For that, you need to run again program. You need to enter the values. Like you yesterday have seen our ATM project. In the ATM project thing, when you run the program and enter your amount, that how much amount you are storing, and you just close the VS Code, what amount you have entered, that thing will not be remembered by your device. Will it remember chat? No, it will not remember because just it's a Python program which has don't any kind of storage. For that, there is a concept of storage in normal computer systems that is called nothing but a files. Files is a concept in a normal computer systems, that is PCs, that we have files which can store our data, information. When we want, we can open, when we want, we can copy, when we want, we can view the data. And it stores the data properly. Sometimes exceptionally it gets corrupted, but that's a different story. Main motto is to store the data, files. In that same way, we have files in our Python. Now, files are generally termed with a letter, a word called volatile. Now, what is a volatile? Generally, when we see in English, what is a volatile meaning? Volatile is nothing but getting evaporated easily. Getting evaporated easily is nothing but like vanishing in a second. Now, vanishing a second, it's not a great thing for a storage or memory. But in that same way, it happens in our when we write a Python program and we enter the values and run the data, run the program, we can see the values properly, and then after closing, everything gets gone. In same way, there is two kind of memories in your PC, like device, like it might be your Android or Apple mobile device also. You will be having two kinds of memories, like one is RAM, one is ROM. RAM is nothing but a cache which has a cache memory which takes the present task runnings and some of the background tasks also, but in minor cases, mainly it focuses in like cache cases, cache memory cases, like it has the volatile temporary memory and the non-volatile memory, which is ROM, read-only memory. It's like a SD card USB, like it stays always. Whenever you store something, whenever you click a photo, record your audio, it stays always. That's a nothing but a non-volatile memory. Like when we see in the terms of our PCs, the volatile memory is nothing but kind a C drive. Generally, people keep their C drive like SSDs, SDDs, or SSDs, SDDs, I guess, or SSD. I don't remember, but you can understand what it is. Non-volatile is nothing but like HDD. Okay, we can call it also our why so confusion? We can call it as RAM. Like HDD, it's like ROM. It's like always when you store something, it stays always. till it gets anything damaged, it stays always. That's nothing but a non-volatile. Just you can see volatile is a temporary memory, non-volatile is a permanent memory. And that can be stored in the Python with the help of files. Now files are kind of two types. One is text files, another one is binary files. Now binary files are the files which are nothing but when you open a file exactly in the text view, you can see only zeros and ones. Zeros and ones. But only computer can read zeros and ones. We are not the humans to understand zero and one. We can understand, but it takes so long time that we cannot smart as much as our PCs or computers. Like we can understand zeros and ones very fast. So binary files are nothing but in general like JPG, which is picture extension file, which is picture file, and .mp4, which is a video file. Now, these kind of files are the binary files. Actually, when you take your image and open in your notepad, you can see all the zeros and ones. Because at the end of the day, the data is nothing but it came from zeros and ones because computers only understand the low level language, that is binary language, zeros and ones. So that JPG and MP4 or these are the binary files. And the text files are the files which are nothing but like how we write .txt, something we write in our notepad. We take some notes, write some text, right? We some write, sometimes we write the grocery items in our checklist, we write some to-do list. All these are nothing but a .txt text files. And also we write every day our Python. Are you able to understand, chat? That different kind of words and terminology in files. Write some quick yes or no. If you are understanding or not, I can understand. Write some quick yes or no. Write some quick yes or no, chat. So that I can know that you are listening to this or not. If you write some yes or no, I can think that I'm audible to you properly. Okay, fine. Now you have seen that in our this case, okay, you want to store data. You want to store the data, our data in files. Now, how can you store the data? When you will store the data when there is some file created. Before storing the data, you need to create a file, open a file, write in the file, close the file, and whenever you want to see, you can see again by opening that file, by confirming opening, you can confirm that our data is present, we are able to store it. For all this process, you can see here. So you need to first open a file, read a file, write the data in that file, and obviously, when you open, you need to close that. Close a file, and you need to add a file. And all these things are available in the Python in the name of modes. In the name of modes. So now you want to open a file. When do you open a file, chat? When the file is already existed. When in Python, if the file is not existed and you want to create it, just write with so and so file name with our Python open function. Now you can see some open function here. With that open function, you can do two things. Okay, chat. You can do two things. One is you can open the available file. Like suppose, let's assume that there is a file called file.txt. Let us assume there is a file.txt already available in your device with some data like you are writing some notes or so and so things. It's already available in your PC. When it is already available, just you will run the Python open function and the file will get opened. But what if it's not available? Then what is the case? Then it will create with this name. With this file.txt name, the Python file will get created. Will get created. In this way, open function works. Now, I have been said that open is there. Now, after opening, what you will do? You will read or write. It's also, we need to have a purpose. Like when you open, you want to read, you want to write. You need to decide that. So, how does open function syntax works? Let's see. Like we have open function here. What you will do? Open function has first, I want to say that we have two parameters here. You as functions completed, I hope so you understand parameters. Parameters are the inputs of the function. Like open function takes two parameters. One is the file name, another one is the mode. Another one is the mode. Are you understanding, chat? So it will gonna take first one is here file.txt is nothing but it is a file name and R which I wrote here. Why particularly R? I will tell why particularly R, but it's a just a mode. Means that it is a purpose after opening a file, what you gonna do? Like you wanna study, that means read, you wanna write something, that means W. So I have written R here. Now what is my R here? My R is nothing but that indicates reading mode. And if I write W there, that indicates writing mode. And if I write A, appending mode, and plus for updating mode. There are kind of modes there. And we will see one by one in our course. Okay, chat. Just give me some yes or no that you are able to understand what the open function is. Then we will go for writing our code. Okay, fine. Now let me open my VS Code first. I hope so you are able to see my VS Code, I guess. Yeah. Now I'm gonna create here a file operations. Py. Let's see by creating the really file gets created or not. Let's see here. What I'm gonna do is just first I'm gonna create a file here. Then let's see that the reading mode and writing mode, how does happen. Just my first purpose is just to create a file. And after creating a file, what I will do, I will read it. That means first I'm creating a file. That means there gonna be a nothing data. That's a empty file. And let us assume that I wanna read it. In future purpose, like if already file is available, that I'm gonna open it and read it because the future purpose means I'm gonna assume that already available data file I'm opening. In this case, we don't have any file present and I'm creating our first file. So in that case, I am creating a file and put it in our reading mode. Okay, chat. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use our open function here. I'm gonna use our open function. You can see it. I'm gonna use here open function and write here a file. Instead of writing file, let's write something .txt file. I'm gonna create .txt file, comma, or okay. I'm just gonna do this. Nothing more than this. I'm just gonna do this. And I'm gonna control S. I know what's gonna happen. It might also show error. Let's see what it's gonna happen. Now it's saying that okay, you are creating a file, but no such file or directory because it's not available, guys. It's not available. Then how it gonna create? What I'm gonna do is f is equal to open.txt. Open.txt means that I'm gonna give this file to a variable called f. I'm just gonna give this and I'm gonna run this and see will it create my file or not. Now again it's not happening because this is not a correct way that you can create your file because this is a kind of beginning stage. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try to access my file. Just I will create here the.txt. I'm creating this file manually and I will write here the Python language. See, you can see here, I have created a file and I have written here a thing called the Python language. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna return to my that same program which is file operations. Now file is available. Now can I access it, chat? Let's see, can I access it or not? F is equals to open the dot txt comma r. Okay, now file is available, file is done, there is some data and my purpose is done that I want to open in reading mode. Okay, chat, everything is done. Now, how can I confirm that if I'm opening a file, will that gonna happen some like pop-up? Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, it's not happening that file not found error. No such file or directory .txt is happening. Can you guess, chat, why it's happening? Can you guess? Make a guess so that I can see how much you're gonna predict very well. You can guess it might be correct or wrong. Let's see what might be the case that why it's not happening. What's the problem occurring here? Okay, fine. Let me tell why it's happening like this. Because it's not able to reach where the .txt file is. It's not able to know. It's unable to know to our case. Okay, our .txt file is where. So for this, what I'm gonna do, like I'm gonna delete this file. I've deleted. Okay. Now we don't have any file this. We don't have any file. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm remove this and create as like file is equal to, okay, chat. File is equal to, I'm gonna write here the dot txt. What I'm doing, like I'm assuming that file is a variable where I am giving my .txt file. Now file might be the available already keyword name. So I'm gonna give here like file underscore name. Okay, file underscore name. I'm some do I'm doing some trial and error method so you can understand in better way how does the behind the scenes of files are going on. Okay, chat, are you able to understand? Okay. Now, if meeting ends somewhere, you know that again you need to rejoin again. If meeting ends, just you should rejoin it again. Okay, chat, if you are agreeing with this, type okay. Okay, fine. Now I have given that .txt file as to the file name variable here. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open the file with using with function with what, like with open function. I'm gonna open a file here, like I'm writing here with open. I'm using open function. With open function I'm opening this file in write mode. What I have done before, you can see what I was done before. I have created the file manually, but after creating the file I have written the data manually. But in this case what I will do is I will write the data with W keyword. W keyword here, W is nothing but a writing mode. When you use W, that means a write mode in your open function. By that you can, after opening, you can write something in. Okay, chat. Now, what I will do, now our with open has been over. Like what it is, it is nothing but a file. Okay, as file I'm gonna do this. Okay, as well I'm gonna do this. So what I'm gonna write is I'm gonna write so and so data. So for writing my data inside the file, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use, generally we write our print function to show the output, but to write in the file we use a write function. Write file dot write, and same as there is a file dot write. I'm gonna write two statements here so that I can get more data, like the Python programming language. Okay, chat. The Python programming language. Now what I'm gonna write here, it is easy to code. Okay, I have written here two statements. Now what the output should be expected after this, like it should create a file and there should be a data with that. Okay, like when I run this, it got successfully executed. You can see here, it got successfully executed. Like, can I clear this? Okay, I have cleared this. I'm gonna run it again so that you can see it got successfully executed. Like, remember that I have executed two times. I have cleared once again, I have executed 2 times so that you don't have any confusion. And your file created here, the.txt. You can see here, chat. Is it created or not? Yes, it's created. When I open this, you can see here the Python programming language. It is easy to code. Did you get it? Did you get it, chat? Are you able to understand, chat? How did I wrote indirectly into the file with the Python program? Write some quick assignment. Write some quick assignment, chat, so that I can understand you understood that. Okay, fine. Now, the thing was here, in the first case, what I have done, I have created a file and I have just done with open function, but it's not happening because the thing is that how can you read some empty file when it's already not available? Actually, it's a thing, but it's not happening purposefully. Why do a computer do certain tasks there? Like it's not gonna do now. So for that, I have to write something, but I have, without creating a file, I made with my Python program to create the file, and I have written some text. When the file is created, when I open that, you can see here the Python programming language. It is easy to code. Now what I will do is I'm gonna create one more file. I'm gonna write here something example.txt. Like I want to create one more file that it gonna happen or not. Like in this case, I'm gonna use here slash n. What gonna slash n do? Slash n gonna do nothing. It's printing one to next another. Slash n will do it to gonna print one line to the next line, like one below the another. Okay, chat. Now let's